Hello, folks. I'm back with another podcast on how to prepare for the data scientist. So, as you know, that this is a 21st century sexist field, and many of you wondering how to prepare for that, and many people are still preparing for that. But still, we have something in my mind there are many courses, but which one is to choose? And maybe you are getting some guidance from someone, but still there is a lack of that, and you might be having many questions in that. So for that, we are going to conduct this podcast on how to prepare for the data scientist. And for this one, we have our special speaker, Ayushi Gupta, and she is currently working as a data scientist, senior data scientist position, and also she is a PhD pursuing candidate from Triple IT Delhi. So without wasting time, let's start it. Okay, Ayushi, you can tell me about yourself, and then we can start with the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ajay, for honoring me, and thanks Deep Learning and Ajay to provide me such an opportunity so that I can share my experience and my learnings throughout the journey with all of you guys, so that you can have so that you guys can learn few things out of my experience and take a benefit out of it. So coming out of that, who am I? Like, if I introduce myself, then I have been pursuing I'm working as a senior data scientist in one of the big organizations, and I have an industrial experience of 3 years, more than 3 years as a data scientist and senior data scientist. I started my industrial career in 2018. Before that, I did my master's from Triple IT Delhi, where I actually opted for some machine learning and programming languages courses. Now, along with my job, I am pursuing my PhD from Triple IT Delhi in artificial intelligence. So this is all about my current experience or current situation, I can say. We can explore other things also.
Yeah, amazing. Very good introduction, Ayushi Gupta.
Thanks, Ajay.
What we can say. Okay, so we'll go with the questions then. So,
Mhm.
as we see, in many articles, we read this data scientist position is a 21st century sexiest position a person can do, and also it is giving a high pay than other conventional jobs. So, what is the reason behind that? Why it is so hyped? Yeah.
So the main reason for the data scientist position being so hyped is something like you are providing. So everywhere, world is an ocean of data. You can easily see that data is floating in every industry, every organization, be it academia, be it industry, be it your real life. You can easily say, just coming from an example, if you are having some disease or something like that, you always say, okay, last time I had this kind of treatment and I was completely cured, so let me have the same kind of treatment. Or so every time you make any decision in your real life, you do some kind of analysis from your past experience. The same thing coming up with the organizations. Each and every organization is finding that they have such a huge data set from their past, and now that data is floating something so the data scientists are helping those industries to understand and analyze that data so that they can make more and more profit out of it. So like for industries, it is a single investment to get double or triple profit out of it. That is why data scientist position is being so hyped.
Okay, this is the main reason behind that. And we also heard in especially India, there's so many open positions for that, but people lack in that skills. Is it really a condition, and why? What is the reason behind that? Why people are not able to gain the skills of data scientists?
I should not say like people are not able to gain the skills. It is just like the upcoming branch, and it is spreading across the world and the India. So people had an experience or skills from the past record. Like people are coding in Java, doing software development, and all these things. Now data analysis or scientists are working more of machine learning side and more in statistics part. So like there are few defined skills which are required, or maybe the practice, I should say, more and more practice is required to be to be an efficient data scientist. So that will come up with the practice only.
Yes, I get it. That comes with the practice only.
Yeah.
Let's say we had a many types of jobs earlier, like a soft. I just wanted to know how those software engineering jobs, or like those software web designer jobs are different from these data scientist jobs. So in a like if I question it, so it will be like what are the job responsibilities for a data scientist, and how these job responsibilities of data scientist is different from the machine learning engineer or a researcher.
So you were asking me about the change. So if I understood you correctly, then you are looking for the roles and responsibilities as a data scientist, and how is it
Exactly.
different from the software engineering profile and all these things, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So, see, as a data scientist, one needs to have a knowledge of the problem domain and the data. Maybe, so for example, if I'm working with an healthcare data, then I need to have a domain knowledge of the healthcare, and I need to understand the problem. Like, okay, this is the problem happening in the world, and this is how is this going to, I mean, if I don't know the solution is something that we need to figure out, but we at least first need to understand the problem and how the solution of that problem is going to help the society or maybe the user. Then the domain knowledge and the data that is coming up from the, like, how can I use that data in a maximum precision way, I should say, that can easily help me to solve the problem. So the first primary the responsibility or the role is understanding the problem domain and data, then manipulating or doing some performing some data engineering, data sanitization, processing, visualization, analysis. All these terms sounds big, but they are not that big. So like you just need to look at the data, you just need to understand the data. There can be some noise in the data that needs to be removed as a part of data processing. And the once you visualize the data or do some kind of visualization using various tools like Tableau, R, Python, all these things, then you can see, okay, oh, this is the real world data, and you can easily figure out, okay, now if I look at this data something in that direction, then I can solve this problem. So this kind of mentality and the thought process needs to be developed, that comes up with the practice only, for being a good data scientist. Then you can think of doing some generative predictive generation of predictive modelings and finding some benchmark and statistical analysis. But the primary thing is to analyze the understand the problem data domain, and then how can that data be used, what are the possible features in that data, or what is the information that is being stored in the data that can be used to solve my problem. So this is the first primary thing a data scientist needs to understand and learn. Then how is it different from the software engineer and the software developer profile, or maybe the web designer, web developers? They have a specific set of things to do. Like you can say, okay, they have been told, okay, you need to develop this software that is supposed to do some chat. Like if I'm developing a chat bot, then it will be used to do some chat, and this is kind of software you need to develop. That requires some algorithms and the development of new algorithms. But in that case, you need know the target thing. But in case of a data scientist, you know that this is the question that needs to be answered, but we need to come up with a solution path, complete solution path, and tell the user that how your solution is going to help, how your solution is efficient and beneficial, how is it conveying the right set of information. So these are the things
Yes.
that need to be taken care of by a data scientist.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely amazing answer for that question. Exactly. So like
Thanks, Ajay.
yeah, there's absolutely right, like amazing answer for this question. Like before preparing for the data scientist, we need to understand what is the basically domain of food for that. That may be pharmacology data or healthcare data or genomics or something else. Then after that we go for the pre-processing, and we try to find the features in that, and accordingly we can proceed. So that's
Yeah,
how the
exactly.
things are.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're getting
Exactly.
a little bit idea like how the data scientists are thinking, or what
Yes,
kind of
yes.
thinking you have before to prepare before preparing for that data scientist position. That's very good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Ayushi. Let's go to the next question here. What are the
Yeah.
basic education or skill requirements to become a data scientist? It will be like just a bachelor degree is fine, or like a master degree will be enough, or what, and along with what are skills we need to prepare for that. Yeah, sure.
So, Ajay, in that case, I would say it is not more about degree, it is more about skills you have. See, in case of, if I just think of from an industry perspective and the job perspective, then there are industries who are actually kind of looking more of masters and the doctorate degrees for a data scientist profile. The reason being for looking out masters and the doctorate is because industry doesn't, so data scientist is not being so long from in the industry, so people don't get experience from the industries. The only skills they can get is from academia. That is why people industries are currently looking for masters and doctorate, but it is not something like okay only only masters or doctorates can do that. Bachelors can also be data scientists if they have the right set of skills and they are completely prepared for it. So if in case of, if I just talk about the right set of skills, then as I mentioned, domain knowledge or maybe the knowledge of the data that needs to be acquired by the data scientist. Then a good data scientist is supposed to have a good programming skills in terms of Python, R, and SQL. So Python and R are the tools that are primarily used, or I should say, are the programming language that are primarily used for the data analysis. It is not like you cannot do it using C or MATLAB and other languages, but Python and R are good for handling big size of data. And SQL is obviously for interacting with the data from the client end and all these things. Then there are tools which are required to be learned by the data scientist for data visualization. We have MATLAB, Matplotlib, ggplot, Tableau. These are various tools that are being used for data visualization. And then data analysis. So using these various programming languages and concepts and domain knowledge, we need to see, we need to learn data analysis. Just coming from one example, like let's say I need to tell, okay, how many patients are going to be admitted for, let's say, COVID in this hospital, then I need to get all the kind of data. So I need to think, okay, for admitting 100 patients in the hospital, I need to have that many inpatient, and I need to have a resources in my hospital also, so that I can admit 100 patients. So this is kind of data analysis need to be performed. Then in case of this predictive analysis, so at the same time one can ask, okay, if I can increase, so if I want to, so what will be your inpatient count, so in the next 1 week. So I can tell, okay, coming from the past 1 month data, I had these many resources, and I have this many amount of these many inpatients. Then the predict, in case of in the coming next week, I can expect these many inpatients for the COVID. So these are the predictive and the data analysis that need to be learned by the data scientist. Then obviously some machine learning, artificial intelligence concepts and algorithms to make all these predictions real time. And probability and statistics, the reason for probability and statistics is to learn whether they are making right, what is the accuracy of their predictions, and whether they are taking right decision or not. I mean, their decision should not go wrong, because if their decision are going wrong, it can create a huge loss to someone. So these are the things that need to be learned by the data scientist.
Very good, amazing. Like that's again an amazing answer from your side. We get it. Like
Thanks, Ajay.
for this education, like there is no any basic or threshold education for that. You just need a skill for that.
Yeah,
If you are having a, you can go for, you can go for such kind of positions, and
exactly,
also
exactly.
like you also highlighted like if you want to prepare for this data scientist positions, then you must be hands on Python, R, Tableau, and basically
Yes,
on this
yes,
kind of softwares. So like
yes,
these are the better working as compared to the C or C++, like because the functions are already available, packages are already available, we just need to call and do the task. The thing is that we have to
exactly.
understand like how the data is going to react on our analysis. That's good.
Yes, yes.
So as we are talking about the courses, so like can you suggest some courses that like people can just go and pursue those courses? Any like that maybe any courses or a specialization from Coursera or Udemy or something else you suggest?
Sure, Ajay, sure. So there are many freely and paid courses available on Coursera, Great Learning, Udemy, all these. I would say you can first go with the free courses for data scientists. There are some machine learning courses also by Andrew Ng and deep learning also. So you can first think of pursuing some basic courses within that area which are available freely, and you can try working out those languages and see if you are actually finding it to be fun. Then you can enroll yourself for some diploma degrees also that is being offered by some academic universities, maybe IITs, triple ITs, and IIM. All these kind of universities are also offering diploma. Those are paid. Like they generally cost from 1 to 3 lakhs, and the duration ranges from 3 to 12 months. But before going to those courses, to diploma courses, you can think of basic courses on the websites mentioned earlier. And along with that, you can think of trying out some real time problems on Kaggle that helps you to rank yourself among people and among the society. That will help you to realize, okay, now this is the level I have learned, and I need to learn to this more level. Or you can think of doing some freelancing on the data scientist problems so that you can easily learn think that judge yourself and see, okay, these are the skills that are required to be learned by you to be more effective as a data scientist. So you can easily explore any of the course like on Udemy and Coursera. I mean, there are a lot of many courses.
Amazing. You are giving so many points, and if are like whoever is watching a show definitely going to get the benefit from this one, as you suggested.
Hopefully.
Yes, as you suggested, for Coursera there are so many courses. For data scientist specialization itself, there are a whole bunch of specialization set in there. So people can go and
Yeah,
enroll there. Although they don't need to pay
exactly.
anything, they can audit the course. For the certification, they need to pay. Just for audit, they can audit, and they can watch the whole lectures in that. That's a very good thing. It's
Yeah,
just, and just for the certificates or degree and diploma, they need to pay some amount. So one more
exactly,
thing I would
exactly.
say it here, whoever is watching our podcast here, so I'll give you a description. I'll give you a coupon code in description. So if you want to enroll in any one of the Andrew NG's course, you'll get a 50% of discount. So I'll leave those that coupon in the description box, and we'll go to the next question now. So next
Sure,
question
Ajay.
is how to prepare for interview rounds. Suppose one person has done so many courses and now he's expert. He has done so many Kaggle competitions and gained many specialization from Coursera, and also he's side by side he's also doing some freelancing personal projects also. Then what about then how to prepare for the interview rounds? So this is the main question. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, like sounds like you have already done so many Kaggle competitions. You have already done freelancing, and you have already done a lot of projects. Then you know a lot of things. Then you really know
Yes.
multiple things. The only thing is if you are looking for a specific domain job. So let's say if you are looking for a healthcare domain job, then you should have some part of knowledge of your domain also. And if you are applying for some open as a data scientist, that is, if it is not specific to the domain, then you need to have a knowledge of all possible domains. And along
Yes.
with that, you can think or look at, sorry,
Yeah. Yeah. Say continue.
yeah. Along with that, you can look out for past interview questions from the same organization. If let's say if you are applying in Amazon, then you need to look at the you can check at Glassdoor what are the questions that are being asked that are generally being asked. And along you need to keep on practicing some coding skills. You can use any open source coding platform, be it Lead Code, HackerRank, Coding Ninjas, all these kind of things. And you can keep on practicing mock interviews, like you can keep on applying into various industries, so that you can easily judge yourself, okay, now these are the things that are being generally asked, and you need to learn that concept, and you lack in that concept.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. So next question you have already answered actually. So question was where to do portfolio or personal projects related to the data science. Does that really contribute in the selection? So you said from freelancing we can do our work or any other or you want to
Yeah,
add in?
No. So freelancing, Kaggle, all these coding skills practices, these can help you in your personal profile development.
Amazing. Okay, that's good. Okay, and some of the persons are having this question in their mind, like how much I'm going to earn if I become a data scientist, and which country or company is giving the best value to the data scientist. Yes.
So if you just look at the companies or industry companies, then countries and the salary, then honestly speaking, data scientist is one of the highly paying jobs nowadays. In India, it is like I would say introduced recently, but in other countries like Denmark, Singapore, UK, Canada, it is really highly paid. Like Denmark, within a Denmark, the average salary of a data scientist or maybe senior data scientist is around 1,50,000 approximately, which is
Amazing.
$30,000 in India, but in Denmark it is $1,50,000 if you just go in terms of dollars. And there are big companies which are actually paying this kind of amount, such as Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, Google, Facebook. All these are the industries which are actually paying a huge amount to the data scientists, as they have a lot of data around them. And like Facebook is one of the company which has everyone's complete personal profile, and you can suggest your them the you can show the news as per their past history, that can help them to open, like that will bring them on to open their Facebook, and you can give them suggestions for their for other groups to join as per their interests. Similarly, in case of Amazon, you can recommend the products to be bought together. So all these are the companies which are actually paying a huge amount of salary to the data scientists.
Amazing. That's amazing. Okay. We'll go with the next question here.
Yeah,
When did
yeah.
you realize, or when did you realize you wanted to get into a AI field or this data scientist field?
Okay, so so during my bachelor's, I have been working with some research papers. Those are not around AI or machine learning. But during my master's, I have been working with healthcare data, and healthcare data actually goes with this only. Like one of my master's thesis was like telling whether this person is going to be affected during aging or not. What are the body parts that are being affected by the aging with aging or not. So these are the things which can be easily solved by, which can be actually solved by machine learning only. So and within academia, you will see multiple courses around machine learning itself. So we have been looking for those courses and all these things, and then applying those courses, the learnings from those courses to the real time problems and the master's thesis, then projects, all these things, then bring some interest in yourself. Then you can easily, and healthcare is one of the domain that you can easily see getting applied to your own personal life. So it is same with the financial domain, so you can easily make use it for your personal finance also, and you can help others also. So in that case, you can see, okay, now this is how I'm going to help the society by making predictions. Once you enter in that domain, you will just do that thing only.
Yes. Amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So you have that the vast experience in data science, from university graduate to becoming this professional. Amazing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are the suggestions you would like to suggest or you would like to share with our audience that will create a edge over other candidates? Yeah.
uh, I would say work on as many as projects you can do. Don't make yourself domain specific, because if you make yourself domain specific, then it is something like you are ensuring that you will work with healthcare company only, or you will work with telecom company only. Try to be open to all possible domains, be it finance, be it telecom, be it education, e-commerce, anything. Try to learn more of machine learning, deep learning skills, and try to implement them. Do as many as Kaggle competitions you can do. Though Kaggle competitions are more of data heavy competitions, you may need to have more heavy processors, but it is good if you can try to get them, and more. And I would say try keep on practicing multiple projects.
Yeah, thank you very much for your for your accepting the invitation, Ayushi Gupta, because there are so many people who are wondering how to prepare, from where to study, they're struggling from they are in bachelors or they are in masters, and they're struggling from where to go and how to opt the best material for that. And that's a right thing that you have discussed here. So I'll be passing the links for all the courses and specializations we have mentioned here in the descriptions will be there. So they can easily go and pursue the course accordingly. And if they are having any questions, they will comment here, and accordingly we can reply. Or I'll pass Aishi's LinkedIn ID. So if you have any questions, you can directly talk to her. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
sure, sure. Thank you so much, Ajay.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, Ayushi. Thank you very much.